Hear me out. Gen Zs want to make a change in this world. They care about the planet, they care about fair wages, and they also care about ethical brands. But we need to keep in mind, even the most conscious shoppers end up shopping at fast-paced fashion stores during a sale. Why do our values and actions collide? Let's understand this by the ethical consumer paradox, especially in Gen Z in South Asia, the generation that will constitute a quarter of Asia's population by the end of 2025. Presented to you by Jeet Singh Arora. Before starting this section off, let's create an hypothetical situation, shall we? Let's assume you are an ethical brand supporter. You wanted to buy a t-shirt, and you know a store nearby produces goods the ethical way. By ethical brands, I mean those brands which use no illegal means during the entire production process. So, you know a store which produces goods ethically, and you go to that store, you find a t-shirt which you like, and you take it to the cash counter and you find the price to be 1400 rupees. You say, okay, let's go to another store and find a better deal. You go to a store nearby and you find the same exact t-shirt to be just rupees 400 rupees. How is that possible? This is possible because that was a fast-paced store. You might ask, what are fast fashion stores? Fast fashion stores, in layman terms, means those stores that produce goods quickly depending upon the trend, upon the demand and supply, sacrificing labor, laws, environment in the process. Those brands that you find out to be cheap. You might be concerned about the environment, but your wallet has limits. In this situation, you are in a paradox. Either you would support your morals, or either you will save money that you have in your wallet and buy the cheap product. In economics, we call this maximizing utility. It is to maximize your happiness you obtain from one good depending upon its price. Maximum utility obtained from the quantity of ethical goods and the quantity of cheap goods is subjected to the price of ethical goods multiplied by the quantity of ethical goods plus price of cheap goods multiplied by the quantity of cheap goods, which in total should be less than or equal to the budget you have planned. The formula on your screen here. Max U means maximum utility, X means the quantity of goods, E means ethically produced, and C means cheaply produced. Even though 91% of Gen Zs say they prefer to buy from sustainable companies and 77% of them are even willing to spend for sustainability, the truth still remains the price of the product determines what ends up in your cart and what goes to your home, and at the end, what gives you utility. The main factor to all this is the price of the product you are buying. If everyone wants to buy ethical, but they still choose what is cheaper, nothing changes. This is known as the prisoner's dilemma in game theory. Everyone wants a better world, but they still choose what is best for them. What is the result? Fast fashion wins and ethical brands struggle. In fact, 60 to 80% of Gen Zs in Asia Pacific region say that brands should be held responsible for their actions. But only a minority are willing to pay for more expensive, environmentally responsible products, except in Australia, where 36% of Gen Zs are willing to pay a premium for more environmentally responsible products compared to the previous generation, Gen X, that is just 16% of them willing to pay extra for more ethically brand products. Gen Z's shopping of ethical products could reshape markets, but in South Asia, wages are very low, job unpredictability is very high. Even though Gen Z's shopping capacity is estimated to be $450 billion, but in real time, many face severe financial risks. In China, the growing middle class is unlocking a new spending power, but across Asia, 59% of people are now preferring to spend over experiences over physical goods, making each and every choice even more deliberate. Now look at some numbers, shall we? In economics, we have a formula to judge how much a person is likely to buy an ethical product. Formula goes ethical purchase by a person I equals beta 0 plus beta 1 multiplied by income of person I plus beta 2 multiplied by the awareness of person I plus other factors that might contribute to the purchase of person I. Here I represents the person who is willing to buy ethical goods, where beta 1 and beta 2 and are the numbers which show how much income and awareness matters in the person's purchase. 60% of Gen Zs are now preferring to buy from small businesses due to ethical perspectives. And 36% of those people have boycotted big brands due to their awareness of illegal practices. But by finally measuring on how a person purchases goods, income is an utmost factor. Awareness is just not enough. Buying ethical helps local artisans, but fast fashion is available everywhere and is cheap, also causes 10% of global CO2 production. 70% of Gen Zs believe that companies should take a stand for sustainable environment practices even though at the cost of their profits, but are themselves unwilling to spend extra on sustainable matters. Some companies pretend to be ethical. This is called greenwashing. In economics, we call this market failure, when the market fails to suffice the consumer. So, does the government have to tax polluting goods and make the ethical goods cheaper? These are some policy questions which can solve this paradox over the time. So, at last, I just wanted to say, is Gen Z hypocritical in their approach? Like the collide between their values and their actions. Is this hypocritical? No. They want to make a change, but the economy makes it hard for them. Why? Because those products which are good for the environment are hard on their pockets. So, this is not just about changing people, it's about changing the entire system.